Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Alright, so I think that's the final event. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Kamala Harris's little media blitz here is done, at least for the time being, until she shows up for her CNN town hall scheduled for October 23rd. She's done her rounds, and guess what? Surprise to literally no one, it ends in utter disaster. There's no other way to say it. You know, obviously the intention here from the Kamala campaign was to have people talking, hopefully have people talking about Kamala Harris as a candidate and of course her ideas, but nope, that isn't happening at all. Rather than talking about Kamala Harris, everybody's talking about Kamala Harris's teleprompter and some other odd moments during the night. Yep, you got that right. Kamala was obviously hoping for a big win, but instead we get teleprompter gate. Ah, what a disappointing result. Let's try to clarify everything that's going on right now online, and let's of course also have a conversation and do our best analysis of Kamala Harris's performance here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so we first got to start off obviously with teleprompter gate, because that's what everyone's talking about. There's a clip that's currently going, I'd say, mega viral all over social media.
Victim of crime, are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? The only question I ever ask is, are you okay? And sadly, we have seen over the last 2 weeks since Hurricane Helene.
And now the question I gotta ask for you is, did you notice it? Yeah, you probably did. The whole internet is talking about this teleprompter. And the claim is that Kamala Harris is so incapable of doing unscripted events that she required a teleprompter to answer questions during a town hall. Now, is this true? Not exactly sure. Honestly, I have my doubts. And the individual who hosted the actual town hall, a man by the name of Enrique Acevedo, came out with a clarification. He writes, "The prompter displayed my introduction in Spanish, and then it switched to a timer. Any claim to the contrary is simply untrue." Many people doubt this explanation. They're asking, well, where's the timer? But if you watch the whole event, the timer was indeed there. I'll show you guys a couple shots where there's a clear timer. So when Kamala Harris was speaking, there was actually just a timer telling her how much time she has left until the next question. And so look, it's possible that teleprompter gate has been officially debunked, but honestly, it doesn't really change much. It's more so the optics. You know, Kamala Harris is perceived as so fake, so disingenuous, so incapable that frankly, from a political standpoint, she can't appear next to a teleprompter. It cannot happen. It's just devastating for her because everyone just assumes that she's reading off a script because generally, all she does is regurgitate scripts. So again, really, it doesn't matter. Teleprompter or not, Kamala Harris is just regurgitating talking points. And how do I know this? Well, there was another moment that I think was equally as interesting, if not more interesting. This.
Knowing that unlike my opponent, who got handed $400 million on a silver tray and filed for bankruptcy 6 times, and filed for bankruptcy 6 times, and filed for bankruptcy 6 times.
Did you notice it? A woman in the crowd apparently knew exactly what Kamala Harris was going to say before she said it, lip-syncing the exact same words, the same tone and everything. What does that remind you of? Well, personally, it reminds me of a parent or a mother who prepared with their young child, young daughter or young son on stage who's delivering a speech or acting in a role, and they're mimicking the words as their kid's up there on that stage in one of those moments where they're just hoping that they can get through the script just as we rehearsed. That's exactly what it feels like. Now again, look, it's possible there's another explanation, which is, I guess, somewhat believable. The left has been going on with the same talking points forever. If you exist in left-wing circles or watch the mainstream media, people are basically regurgitating that exact same line 7,000 times a day, so it's possible that it's just a blue anon NPC who's perfectly tapped into the rhetoric. I don't think it even matters, because politics is mostly about optics. And the reality is, Kamala has a serious optics problem. Whether there's a teleprompter or not, whether there's somebody in the stage lip-syncing along her, hoping she gets every line right, it doesn't freaking matter because whenever Kamala Harris speaks, it sounds pre-rehearsed. I mean, we remember during the debate where Donald Trump was saying things, and then Kamala Harris was responding with something that was either totally irrelevant or that was accusing Donald Trump of doing or saying something which he literally 5 seconds earlier said he didn't support. Kamala Harris was never actually addressing anything that Trump said during the debate. She was just delivering the leftist sermon. She has an optics issue. She cannot go off script. I mean, we remember what happened the last time she was actually using a teleprompter.
Remember his number? 32. Today we got 32 days until the election. So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. All right. 32 days.
Complete, utter train wreck. And of course, there's this whole thing that people keep mentioning with Kamala, how she never really seems to answer any question with any specifics. Everything she says is always empty platitudes and vague political rhetoric. I mean, the internet has been roasting her for the whole "I grew up in a middle-class family" thing, and then here she is during this same Univision event, responding in the same default manner.
My question to you is, what is your plan to improve the medical system?
Look, I come from the middle class. My mother was a working woman who raised me and my sister. My mother was able to finally, she saved up to be able to afford to buy a home by the time I was a teenager. I know everyone has ambition, works hard, has aspirations, but doesn't necessarily have all the resources that other people have.
She never answers any questions with anything insightful or specific. It's the same empty nonsense over and over again. And that right there is the point. That's the problem that Kamala Harris has. And look, the left is throwing a hissy fit all over social media, trying to debunk this whole teleprompter thing, but I don't think they realize that their problem is a whole lot deeper than teleprompter gate. I mean, for Pete's sakes, considering the answers that Kamala Harris gave, I think her deliberate non-answers and just vapid nonsense, I mean, you leftists should be hoping for Kamala Harris to be using a teleprompter. She freaking needs it. And everybody knows this. And that's the unfortunate situation that Democrats are in. Their candidate is simply incompetent. And while she's traveling across the country, doing all kinds of different events, hoping to get a bump or hoping to, of course, spur a conversation around her credibility and competency, that conversation's just not happening. And little moments like these are totally taking all the attention in the room. Meanwhile, on the other side, Donald Trump is absolutely winning, really connecting with people, connecting with voters, and even some of the left-leaning people that he's doing podcasts with, like Andrew Schultz, for instance, which the left is panicking over.
Trump appeared on Wednesday's episode of the comedy podcast Flagrant. There, the hosts laughed out loud when the ex-president struggled to defend a rambling answer, which he chalked up to, oh no, here he goes again, doing a weave.
I actually mentioned Air Force One. It was Air Force One was there. So I mentioned Air Force One, and then I said how I got $1.6 billion off the price of Air Force One. So, but then you have to come back to the story. Where was Air Force One taken you? So anyway, I do a weave. I call it the weave. And some people think it's so genius, but the bad people, what they say is, he was rambling. Yeah. It's not a ramble. There's no rambling.
This is a weave.
There's a weave. I call it the weave. Good name. I'm not sure. That's another name. We had fake news. We came up with lots of names. Yeah. But the weave is, I think we should make the weave a part of that stable.
Yeah, you really weaved away to answering my question twice. That's brilliant. So I don't even want to know the answer anymore. I lost interest.
We'll weave back. Let's weave back to his question.
Trump's doing incredibly well. He's charismatic, well-spoken, actually offering concrete solutions and plans. He's connecting with people. He's convincing people to vote for him. And now to make matters worse, I guess to add insult to injury for the left, Elon Musk is apparently confirming that Joe Rogan might do an interview or might do a podcast with Donald Trump. I don't know about you guys, but my perspective is, it's obvious one candidate is genuine, is real, and the other simply isn't. And that seems to be the general public perception. I mean, I wonder where people are getting that perception from. Kamala Harris, fake? No, never.
Have empathy, man.
Yes.
For the suffering of other people. Have no sense of purpose, as though it is a sign of weakness to have empathy. Well, first of all, thank you for the question, and I hope your family is okay and your home is okay.
Kamala Harris seems to be an ethnic chameleon, debuting a brand new accent at every event that she shows up to. It's just so weird, and how ironic that is. So look, it's possible that the explanation for the whole teleprompter thing actually checks out here, but the fact that that little teleprompter shot overshadowed Kamala Harris's entire performance, well, it tells you all that you need to know. Now, doesn't it? There's just so much skepticism around this woman relating to her authenticity and her ability to perform. And that right there is not a position that you want to be in the midst of an election cycle. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.